So I'm in quite the project today. I'm testing out the Amphibio, the Simplex, the Deus, and the Equinox on 180 rings here. I have 2 lines of gold rings here. I have some white gold rings, some pendants, some necklaces, some bracelets, some really large gold rings, and they get smaller as they come down here. I'm gonna mute this machine. That's a Simplex, right? It's really chattery, right? Especially in, near curb strips or near homes, right? Or in hot soil. And I have also a line here of silver rings, just random silver rings, different sizes here. Different sizes, kind of spaced out 10 inches apart. And they're all, this whole sidewalk is covered with rings, right? And down at the end I have some jewelry there, some silver jewelry. And I have some junker rings and a few silver rings in this one, some tungsten rings, some old rings, some newer rings, just most of them are junker right in through here, right? And about 180 rings or so. But I'm gonna just stay in part 1 here, right? Because part 1, I think, I'm gonna talk here for a second. Part 1 and part 2 are really good for jewelry. You know, field mode is good too. I mean, all of these targets come out really good with the Simplex. I think better than most machines, right? I have all these machines here. I do a lot of testing, and the Simplex just seems to hit them all, right? And it hits them in every mode. But in Park 2, it hits it a lot better, right? You get a more of a crisper tone and a little bit more stable numbers. I am using the 277 version, so it's gonna be a little kind of jumpy. I'm not gonna talk too much in the rest of this video, so just stay with me here. But the field mode, you're gonna dig up a lot of foil targets, right? It's gonna hit on a lot of those surface targets. But that's where these rings are at. That's where the bracelets, the jewelry, the rings, the necklaces, the small pendants, they're not too deep in parks and curb strips, right? The older stuff can be a little bit deeper, but the deeper these targets get, like the gold rings, they're gonna read up all different numbers, right? If a ring is on its edge, it's gonna sound a lot different than when it's laying flat, right? That's with any machine. But you're gonna have to dig up a lot of foil. I mean, join the crowd. If you're digging up a lot of foil and you haven't gotten any rings or any necklaces or gold jewelry, join the crowd. I don't get much ring either. You know, these gold rings here took me a lot of thousands and thousands and thousands of hours to hit on these golds. I hunt every day. I hunt every day of the year, pretty much all day. You know, most days I'll hunt for at least 5 or 6 hours. But let me get to it. I'll show you the numbers. A lot of people are interested in the numbers, especially with the Simplex when you're first starting metal detecting. You want to know the numbers, right? The numbers are a big thing, right? Once you get some experience, you'll just know if the freaking target beeps, dig it out. It doesn't matter what the numbers are, man. A lot of these gold rings sound just like foil, and there is so much foil out there. It's just unreal how much foil is out there. There's more foil in the parks than anything else, right? And the gold rings are sparingly, right? They come very few and far between, right? You have to get a lot of pull tabs, a lot of foil, a lot of junk to get those gold rings, right? And I'll just swing over some of these targets here. I already showed you what the layout is here, right? The gold rings on the left, the junk rings on the right. I might have to dial it back a little bit here because it might be kind of noisy. I'm running 277, so it's kind of a little bit unstable. So numbers: small gold rings to the big gold rings, yellow. But 1 gram gold ring, 1920. Another 1 gram gold ring, 1920. Kind of jumpy, really jumpy. It's getting some 90s and 80s there. 24, 22. And when the gold rings are weird shaped, you know, anything that's weird shaped is going to read up really jumpy, right? So you're not going to get those numbers are not going to be solid, right? Or if you're around some EMI and you drop your gain down, you're going to get some jumpy numbers too. Or if you're around another detectorist who's running at near the same frequency, you're going to get some jumpy numbers, you're going to get some odd tones. My theory is, if I can pinpoint a target, it doesn't matter what it sounds like. Maybe with a Deus. The Deus, because I can really get through the lower conductors, that foil and the cancel, I can really get through. I just know those tones and the overload tones. But if I can pinpoint a target, I'm going to freaking dig it out, right? I'm going to dig it out, because a lot of these gold rings, I thought I was going to be digging up another pull tab or a piece of cancel or a piece of foil, and it was a gold ring, right? A lot of these are live dig. Most of these rings are live digs in my videos. I have almost 3,000 videos on YouTube, and a lot of these rings here are in my videos, right? 21, 19, 30. That's a broken ring, so it's gonna be really jumpy, right? It's a broken gold ring right there, right? With all these jewels on it, right? Found that with my Equinox 6-inch coil. That was actually my first ring, my first gold ring with the 6-inch coil in the Equinox. 40, 35, really jumpy tone there. 33, 24, 35, 40, 35, and they're getting bigger as they get up, right? They get bigger. 31, 30, a really odd shaped munched gold ring by the lawnmower. A solid 30, right? $250 gold ring right there. Sounds like a pull tab, right? 36, 44, 48, solid 48, right? Solid 48. $250, $300 gold ring right there. 67, sounds like a zinc penny, right? 72, 71, sounds like a bottle cap. 74, 75, 73, 74, 72, sounds like a bottle cap, right? Same numbers, right? Here's some more small gold rings right here. 24, 20, 22, 27, very small gold ring right here. 18, 21, 23. Here's a white gold rings right here. Honking class gold ring right here. Right there. 19, 20, 70s, 60s, 17, solid 17. That one might be tungsten, or it might be stainless steel. A munched gold ring right here, 20. Another munched gold ring right here, white gold, 20. 22s, 20s, 30s, 70s. That one's a platinum ring right there. There's a gold ring that I just found the other day with my Equinox. Last week, 23. Another white gold ring, 24. Another white gold ring, 24, 39, 38. All right. This is $650 worth of gold right here, right? Now I'll go to these small little pendants here. Little spinner Jesus pendant, another Jesus pendant there, another Jesus pendant there, another heart, another heart. All these are live digs, right? In my videos. This is a 12 kilohertz machine, so it's going to struggle a little bit, just a little bit on these smaller pieces of gold. And here's a small piece of necklace I found, a portion of the necklace that I found the other day with my Deus in the field, right on the surface, right? It was embedded in the roots, but it was right on the surface. And this is a small piece to it. That necklace weighed 15.4 grams of 14 karat gold. Small pendant. 18, 19, 40, 22, 30. You know, it's an odd shape, so you know, anytime you have an odd shape piece of jewelry, it's gonna be scratchy, right? And especially with this 277, it's really unstable machine too. 2067, 2019, 33, 21, 20, 24. Here's that small piece of herringbone necklace right there. Just not doing it. I'll put it in park, or I'll put it in field right here. Right? Sounds just like iron, right? It's going to struggle on this smaller piece of gold. Here's a big piece of gold right here. A huge piece of gold. This is like a $500 piece of gold right here, or $400 piece of gold right here. Spanking it out. 16, 18, 19. Here's a necklace or a bracelet right here, right? Not gonna hit it. Bracelet, 14 karat gold. Here's a 10 karat gold bracelet right here. See? Not gonna hit it. 12 kilohertz is just too low of a frequency to hit on those herringbone necklaces. Here's another, a larger 14 karat gold bracelet. It's like a $300, $400 chunk of gold right there. 21, 19. Here's that necklace I found the other day. 15 gram gold necklace right here. 19, 18. Here's a gold coin right here. All those guys who want to know what the number on a gold coin is. So the gold coin is gonna read up pretty much the same, right? Gold rings just read up all different numbers, but if you're going for number game, 50s, 60s, if that coin is on its edge, it's gonna be a lot different tones. And if it's under the root, or if it's next to some iron, it's gonna read up all different. So you get my drift here, right? They read up all different numbers, man. Here's the silver rings. All these are silver rings, that whole line right here. 93, 94, 65, 67, 73, 82, 88. That one's pretty solid. 91, 90. Very small silver ring right here. 57, 67, right? That silver ring reads, a couple of those silver rings read up as a zinc penny, right? If you're skipping those zinc pennies up, if you're skipping that cancel up, if you're skipping that foil up, if you're skipping up pull tabs, you're just gonna get coins, right? You're just gonna get coins. There's not really much fun in that, right? One of these gold rings will pay for this metal detector right here, right? One of these gold rings, one of these medium-sized gold rings will pay for this detector right here, right? Another silver ring right there, another silver ring right there, another silver ring right there, 80s, 70s, 90s, 88, 90. I'm struggling on this one right here. It's still hitting it though, but the Equinox does struggle on this ring too. It's an Avon silver sterling Avon silver sterling ring here, and the Amphibio is hitting this really good. When they get in the ground, they sound a lot different, right? Now here's some junk. Here's some junk rings, right? If you guys really want to see this, the junk rings, but they read up as pennies, right? 95. That's a solid copper ring right there. Really cool copper ring. It has some Indian stamps in it or something. Aztec stamps. 72. Tungsten ring. Reading at 27. Two more tungsten rings right here. 27. 28. So these three rings, these three tungsten rings are different sizes here, right? And they read up almost the same, man. Crazy, right? There's a couple silver rings in here also too, but you know, are you getting the drift here? You getting the drift, right? Rings read up all different numbers, man. If you want rings, you're gonna have to dig up a lot of junky targets, right? And when they're odd shaped rings, or they're on their edge, they're gonna sound a lot different, right? It's not gonna give you a tone, it's not gonna give you a coin tone, right? If you get used to digging up a lot of coins, and you just dig up coins and you notch out your pull tabs or your freaking foil or something like that, you know, you're gonna be missing out on a lot of jewelry, right? A lot of jewelry, man. I'm telling you, if you notch or you discriminate, if you're just getting in metal detecting, if you discriminate, like, let's say down to 10, right? Those small gold rings, you're not gonna get a very good tone on those gold rings that read up at 19, right? Because it's gonna give you a broken tone, and you are much more inclined to dig a coin tone or a round tone or a solid tone, right? And if a ring's broken or if it's on its edge, you're not gonna get a solid tone, right? That's why I just say, stay away from the numbers game, right? Just dig up the tones. Start digging out those foily targets, those scratchy targets, right? And learn what to listen for, right? Here's some more rings, junker rings, right? I don't know if you guys are interested in the junker rings, but junker rings, 60s, 20s, you know, 50s, 60s, 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 50s, 50s, and here's a big old ring right here, 65, 21. Here's a over 1 ounce of Mexican silver bracelet I found in the curb strip with this machine, with this setup right here. Actually, I was running 268, 79, 80, 84, 86. So the Simplex, I'm gonna tell you right here, the Simplex is amazing at those higher conductive targets, right? It was pretty stable on those junker rings. It was pretty stable on those silver rings, and it was very stable on that bracelet right there, that 1 ounce bracelet. But on the gold rings, it's going to be jumpy tones because you're at lower frequencies, right? With the big coil, I think the big coil performs quite a bit better. The reason why I have this small coil on right now is because I don't have enough room on my sidewalk here to put all these rings and have a big coil, because you'll be hitting 2 targets at one time, right? But with the Simplex, it hits really hard on deep silver or deep coins. The Simplex is a deep seeking machine, but you saw that right at first when I started this video. It was kind of scratchy because I had to drop the gain down because of the EMI, right? If you're in really hot soil, or if you're around a lot of iron, or if you're around a lot of EMI, you know, it really does make it tougher to detect. And I've noticed with the Simplex, I've struggled in those situations. But with the big coil, you know, just jack it up full gain, and then if you get some EMI, just drop it down a little bit. But I just run my Simplex just full gain, Park 2 or Park 1. I usually don't hunt in field because I just get a lot of junk. You know, I get a lot of targets near the surface. But field mode really hits on targets really good. It hits on foil really good. And that's what you want to be digging out if you want gold. If you're not getting much gold, join the crowd. I've been digging for almost 30 years, and I really don't get a lot of gold. Maybe if you're at an ocean or a beach or a really common place for people to lose gold rings at, you're gonna get a lot of gold, but I don't really live near those areas. So, well, there's a Simplex, man. It slaughtered it. It's doing actually a lot better than I thought. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.